Hello everybody, it's Charlie again. I'm currently playing Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. And this is a game that I've been wanting to show more of. I mean, since the PS4 I hadn't tried it, and then now in 2024 I decided to try it, and yeah, the game is still pretty awesome, guys. So I decided to do a replay review on it. And yeah, other than that, let's get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Hey, what's up guys? And here for another review, and this time a game that maybe a lot of you have never tried or played that I recommend. I'm pretty sure this is an indie, but don't quote me on that. Either way, this game is based on your favorite like Contra-like side-scrolling shooters. You guys remember those days? Well, guess what? This game supplies you with all that stuff. It has a variety of things that you can get behind, like cover. And there's destructible environments, as you can see in that some of that gameplay I'm putting up. There's different weapons they use against you. There's a variety of bad guys, which is also cool. There is the supernatural and also the human characters, which is because there's zombies in the game. And there's a whole story behind it, believe it or not. But as you go through, you'll notice there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of guns, and there's an a la cannoli. But no, I'm kidding. But there is, seriously. Like, that's basically what the game is. Like, the title of the game is telling you what it is. So if you don't like violence, maybe this is not the game for you. But then again, it's animated violence, guys. It's not really, I mean, it kind of looks like tomato paste, really. But the graphics and the cel-shaded design, and it does have sort of a mobile game design in a way, but it's done really well, I promise you. It's not one of those things where you're like, man, I wish they could have done it differently if they would have just changed this. No, it feels good. It sounds really loud and good, and the music behind it while you're playing is really fun. Obviously, it's like from the 1940s or something like that. I think it's right after World War II or something. That's where it takes place. And they have all the cool backgrounds that basically showcase the era that you're in. And the main character and everything is really funny. His personality, I think you guys would like. He's a little crude. He's a little rude, but he works for the Italian mafia, so yeah, he's an enforcer, and he plays the part perfectly. If you guys like to, just a quick game that you can just get in and out whenever you want, it does have basically jump-in co-op, so while you're playing at any time, if, I'm not sure if it's, maybe there's online. I don't think there is, but it's possible that there is. I forgot to check. Honestly, I never played it online. But you can use share play either way. Even if a game doesn't offer online, you can do share play and do couch co-op either way, which is something that you could do on PS5 and PS4. I'm not sure about the other consoles and stuff and platforms, but definitely on PS5 and PS4. This is obviously a PS4 game, but I am playing it on the PS5. I don't think it has any upgrade benefits, but right here you can see that there's a deathmatch, basically a versus mode, that which is really cool. You could turn it into basically Modern Warfare side-scrolling style, and there's quite a few levels to pick from. There's also a variety of weapons to pick from light arms, grenades, the works. As you can see, bazookas, all kinds of variety, I kind of wanted to show a little bit of that. So it does have a few extra modes, not a lot though, because it is an indie, but is it good? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Some of these modes I've only tried once because I just like the main game, really. I've gone through the main game twice and I really like it. If you look at right here, it does have your kill limit, your difficulty. Obviously, guys, I'm going to give you a heads up. This game is very difficult, okay? You better leave it in normal. And maybe you'll even go down to easy. Easy. If you look right here, there's some cinematics that kind of explain the story, but not really. I mean, the story isn't the focus of the game. It's the gameplay, but the story is funny if you careful to pay attention to it. You can't skip the cutscenes if you want, although it might be more fun to pay attention to it a little bit. Right here I'm using a flamethrower and it's very satisfying. The sounds that it makes, you could hear it burning stuff. It's insane, like pretty crazy. There's also a variety of zombies, which is really cool. These zombies obviously aren't like your traditional 3D zombie players and stuff, or I guess adventure games, but this works a little bit different. Some of these guys literally explode, they're combustible for no reason, and it's just a fun game. It's like emphasized on comedy, humor, but it like very gory humor. So think of it as Quentin Tarantino type of movie in a way, or type of game, because of basically the gore, really, and the blood. But it's not the focus of the game. The focus is the gameplay. And if you can focus on just having a good time, this right here though is really, really fun if you do co-op. On my channel there should be videos of this game of me and my pal doing co-op. I'm not really sure, I'd have to go look through it, but I remember doing co-op for this game, and yeah, I can't tell you how much fun I had. This game cost me around that time, it was on special. I'm not sure how much it costs now. I'm not sure if it's at the PSN store, I haven't checked. But when I bought it, it was about $12, I would say. So it was fairly cheap, you know. And as you can see, they pile up on you. You can do basically a melee attack, which is just a kick, like a front kick, to back them off. Because while you're reloading, yes, you have to reload, and you have to pick up ammo. So it's like a realistic game in that way. And you see them load up and everything. So while you're loading up and they're trying to attack you, you can kick them away. There's destructible doors that you can literally kick down or break down or shoot down, whatever you chose to do. So the breakable environments, the gameplay, the way the graphics looks, it has a really pleasant design. Even though it's not like your top-notch, Unreal Engine 5 or whatever, it still is pleasing to the eye, you know? As you can see, blood splatter on the screen when the combustible enemies explode and stuff like that. And it's just really cool. Obviously, this game does have, like I said, the difficulty spiked up to 11 for whatever reason, naturally. So even if you're playing on normal, you may notice that you're dying a lot. Anyways, this is basically some of the cutscenes of the beginning of how the outbreak started and how everybody started to act weird. He doesn't know what's happening. He's just an Italian from New York that's an enforcer. And, he doesn't really care, okay? He's an enforcer through and through. He has his weapons, and whoever gets in his way is gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's very cut down to the bare essence of what he is. It's not about him trying to figure out how this happened and Resident Evil style, maybe it's an infection. No, he doesn't care. He's gonna be mowing people down, which is cool. And it's funny as hell because he really does act like an Italian from New York. There's health sprinkled all around the maps in the form of cannolis and other Italian foods, which is funny. I've never had a cannoli. I don't really know what it is, but I know it's a food of some kind. I believe his last name is Cannoli too, by the way, which I don't know what you guys take from that, but it kind of came up a little bit weird. But I think it's part of the humor. If you guys like humor, this game has it for you in spades. So what else can I say? Well, the only things that I would say that is that sometimes the game where you move one side, sometimes you don't get a hit when you should. I guess when you're fighting the bosses mainly, and they seem to hit you more often than you can hit them, depending on where you're standing. Like if you're at a higher level, like there on the stairs, and you just have to make sure to jump and because he can't shoot at an angle. Like he can't turn his gun up and down like that. He can only crouch shoot or up shoot. I wish they would add that to it, but I think I'm gonna give this game, because it's a lot of fun, I would give it an 8 for an indie. I guess some people might give it a 7.5. I think it deserves an 8 for an indie. I think it's good enough for that. The fun factor is very high. I just wish they would add that mechanic where you can kind of like aim properly with your weapon. That would be cool. But yeah, overall, I'm very satisfied. I like the Tommy gun. I like this gun. As you can see, it's very gory. That's a Magnum, obviously. Earlier, that was a boss fight. Basically, they just have a lot of health. They have some of their enforcers with them. You have to kill them while you're trying to take the boss down. So it's a very basic boss fight. Over here, you see that some of these guys are the ones that have signs on them, but basically they used to work on the street. to try to help sell items and do promotions. Those guys are harder to kill because you have to shoot through the, unless if you shoot them in the head. But let's say you're at an angle and you're lower and you shoot, it'll take a while for you to shoot right through the wood that they're wearing. So there's stuff like that, like they try to mix it up a little bit. There's actually ex-police officers that are now zombies and they're still holding a gun and they'll shoot you with the gun. So there's a good enough variety of enemies, I think, overall. And if it doesn't have online, guys, I'm like I said, use share play. You can play 1 hour at a time and infinitely if you want in loops. Me and my pal have beaten games in share play, like full games, that I didn't buy and he bought, or vice versa, you know. But yeah, overall, this game's for a side scroller and an indie, masterful. I think this is a game that people should look at. I know I've said that about a couple of games because I try to choose the games that I'm very positive about for recommending you guys, so you guys don't waste your time. And also games that are not too expensive. They're on the cheaper side. But what else can I say? I have no complaints on the graphics, gameplay, characters, even the story is really funny. I think that's the whole point of the game. It's a comedy. Variety of enemies, the gore, the guts, and the cannoli. I had to say it's so stupid, I know, but still. So overall, this game, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and re-emphasize this game is an 8 for sure. It deserves a solid 8. But yeah, guys, here's some of the additional options. As you can see, there is settings, basic settings with sound and music. I don't know if some of it's copyright, I doubt it. Here is the way the control scheme works, and last but not least, hints. If you want them, honestly, I wouldn't use them because it's more fun just to figure it out on your own. But for those of you who care for hints, if the game's getting too difficult, then maybe you would want to. Not everybody's like me, I guess, in that way. But yeah, overall, good game, solid 8. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end it right here, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe when you get a chance. And like I always say, go game.